Tyler Herro is currently playing in his 6th NBA season, and throughout his young career, Herro has consistently been one of the Miami Heat's go-to scorers and creators, and that remains the case today. But Herro this year is putting up some career best numbers, and the way he's been going about generating his offense this season has been slightly different. Now, in Tyler's first 5 seasons, a vast majority of his scoring came from outside of the paint, where he had the tools to generate 3-point looks on or off the ball, while also having a pretty good in-between mid-range and floater game. Throughout the past 3 years, that's been enough to make him a 20-plus scorer on a night-to-night basis. But throughout that time, there was one main thing missing in Herro's game, and that was his ability to score in the deep paint. When looking at Herro's shooting spreads last year, just over 18% of his total field goal attempts were at the rim, which puts him in the 13th percentile across the league. But when jumping forward to this year, that number has jumped to over 29%, which is a pretty big step up in volume. Now, physically, I've always thought Herro had the build to be at least an average slasher at the NBA level. When looking back at some of his younger clips, Herro's always had a pretty underrated spring off the floor. Obviously, he's not Ja Morant, but athletically, he does have some good tools. First, he's got good speed in open space, where he can turn on the jets and beat the defense in a foot race to the basket. I also think Herro has really good control when picking up into finishes, where he can gather the ball up and step through traffic for bounce finishes. And plays like this may seem pretty basic, but it takes a ton of control to gather, cover ground, and get enough lift to score in crowds. This move and bucket here is pretty tough. Where in transition, Herro's going to hit this inside out crossover to then immediately gather the ball off his left foot. And from here, he's going to use his next 2 steps to initiate contact to then extend up this layup. And that blend of footwork and body control also opens the door for Herro to use some crafty pickups to slice past the defense. We'll see him here refuse this screen by ripping to his right. And as this big slides over to cut him off, Tyler's going to pound the ball and get to this high pickup, to then stride past him with these 2 long steps. I love this move here, where Tyler is initially attacking to his left, and he's going to get to this push cross back towards the middle. And as the defense slides and walls him off, watch how Herro's both going to initiate contact with his left shoulder, while simultaneously gathering off his left foot. And from here, he's going to get to this bump euro and extend back across to his left. And then on top of him using those long strides in the paint, Herro also has the control to pick up and finish off 2 feet, which again takes a crazy amount of body control. We'll see him here aggressively turning the corner off the screen to his right. And with his momentum heavily pulling him downhill, Herro has the balance to pick up and land on 2 feet, to then shoot up this vertical finish. And playing off 2 feet in the lane also allows Herro to more easily adjust his flight path to the basket. Watch him here refuse the screen to his right, to then pick up on 2 feet. And Westbrook from behind is trying to time this block, but Herro's going to instead float across for this reverse layup. Now the next thing we have to look at with Herro's driving game is going to be his pace. With the ball, Tyler is elite at changing his speed to move the defense off their spot, creating wide open driving lanes. Watch him here rip towards the baseline, then come to a complete stop, which moves these 2 help defenders back towards their man, giving him another clear driving lane. And that pace also carries over to his play and pick and roll. Tyler here is going to turn the corner off the screen, to then again lift up his level and slow down. And from here, Herro's going to pound the ball and explode through this gap with these long strides. And Herro's also pretty good at mixing his pace and footwork together. For example, one of his go-to moves is his pino step, where after Tyler gathers, he throws up this ball fake off his first step, then uses his next step to elevate towards the basket. Right here, he's going to turn the corner off this pick and slow down to give Bam time to roll towards the basket. And Herro right off his gather step is going to throw up another ball fake to then again extend to the rim with these next 2 steps. Now the next thing we have to go over is Tyler's improved handle. When really diving into Tyler's game off the bounce, one thing you'll notice is that he has really light feet by constantly skipping and floating with the ball. And this does a couple of things. First, it allows Herro to get more of a burst off the bounce, where he can use this skip to build momentum and get more of a push into his drives.
All the way in.
Notice here how much ground he covers skipping off his right foot and replanting his left foot. And Kyrie from his standstill has no chance of sliding and staying in front of this burst. And Herro can also use these lateral floats to create attacking angles. Watch him here simply float out to his left, creating this downhill drive right to the front of the basket. And some of these moves are very subtle too. Notice on this play how Gafford initially has his hips in front of the ball, but watch how Herro is going to transfer it through, then skip out to his right, setting up another clean blow-by. And what really makes these floats so effective is that Herro can also connect it into literally any dribble move, which gives him countless of options off the dribble. Take this play for example. Herro's pushing the ball in transition, and he's gonna again float up with the ball and drop down into this punchy in and out. We'll see him here use that between and lateral skip. But when he feels the defense leaning across, Tyler is going to snap this crossover back to his left. And these float dribbles also give Herro more time to read the defense, which carries over to his screen navigation. Watch him here skip up and read Josh Hart overplaying the screen. So Herro in response is going to slide the ball behind to then again skip up and read that he's got all this open space to his left to attack into. So while Herro has made some big improvements to his overall volume at the rim, it's also important to mention that his percentages around the basket still aren't great. So far this year, he's shooting just over 50% in the deep paint, which is well below the league average. And physically, Herro still has some limitations at the rim, where he lacks elite verticality, and physical defense can pretty easily move him off his spot. But even though Herro's percentages aren't great, I still think his overall volume at the rim is good for his offense, because 50% on twos is still a good quality. And Herro's new aggressive playstyle has also led to a career high in free throw attempts per game. Now Herro this year has also really amped up his 3-point volume. So far this season, he's attempting exactly 10 3-point attempts per game, while also shooting over 42%. And for all players across the NBA who average at least 10 threes per game, Herro has the second highest field goal percentage.
Right play. Herro with the logo, 3 with the clock down.
Now what really makes Tyler so effective as an outside scorer is his versatility. On or off the ball, he's a very advanced shot creator, both having the ball skills to create pull-ups off a live dribble, plus the footwork and movement to effectively create shots off the catch. Now with the ball, Herro's got no problem pulling up going both right or left. Plus he's also comfortable rising up from 30 plus feet. And that by itself gives him the tools to be a very good shot creator out of pick and roll.
Herro again.
When getting to these pull-ups out of ball screens, Herro has really efficient footwork, where he maximizes his steps with every dribble. We'll see him here go between, then push the ball across to his right. And with one dribble, notice how much he skips out lateral to create space from the defense, and he hops into a perfectly on-balance jumper. Now on this play, he's going up against two monster defenders in Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. But watch how Herro is going to use one dribble from the logo and immediately pull up for a left-right jumper off the screen. And Herro's ability to float and manipulate the ball also plays a big factor to his perimeter shot creation, where he again uses these skips to set his man up and create space, as well as simply read the floor and punish defensive breakdowns.
Coach, Herro, got a 3.
Watch him here read Martin getting hung up on the screen, so Herro's just going to glide out to his right, giving himself plenty of airspace to elevate. Herro also has a variety of step back and separation moves in his bag, and this is where everything comes back to his improved balance and control, being able to commit his body into moves to then skate out for an on-balance shot. We'll see him here look to turn the corner off these staggered screens, and when he feels the defense losing their base, Herro's going to snatch this crossover back to his left to then flow into a 30-foot step back. And then it's also important to mention that Herro also brings a ton of value as an off-ball floor spacer, where he's got the mechanics to be a very effective spot-up shooter, plus having the footwork and balance to work off some different screening actions. And this makes him an easy fit in pretty much any offensive lineup. You can put the ball in his hands and run some good offense out of pick and roll, or you can move him off the ball where he can still do plenty of damage. So Tyler Herro this year has really made it a point to both up his volume at the rim and behind the line, which has led to by far his most efficient season. I do think Herro still has some limitations as a scorer around the basket, but his jump in volume is still good for his overall game. And at just age 25, Herro still has plenty of time to build out that part of his scoring. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who the kid should break down next. The kid's here.